Hello, Faith family. Good morning. I hope you all are doing well. I want to say thank you through this video, and I want to say that I'm grateful for your friendship, for your prayers, and for your support. And also, I would like to update what's happening through this video. Especially, I want to say three things: how did I do, or how did the ministry go during this pandemic time? How did I experience, and then what God taught me during this pandemic, and how can you pray. So those are the three things I want to share with you, so that we can pray each other, we can get in touch with each other. So first thing, pandemic has been this 2020 pandemic has been as difficult as for many of you. I was particularly I was disappointed. Disappointed in a sense that I could not do the ministry that I wanted to do the way I wanted to do. I wanted to visit Nepal a couple of times. I wanted to meet our church planters. I wanted to encourage them, and also I wanted to have training in persons during this 2020 time. I could do none of those things, so I was disappointed. I could not do the things I wanted to do, so I was disappointed. At the same time, I was many ways stressed out. I hope some of you also were stressed out because we were confined in home many days, many times. I have two kids, 8 years old and 5 years old, and spend time with them in their virtual classes is something difficult for me, and also I'm serving among Nepali speaking people group here in Grand Rapids, to listen their stories how COVID-19 has hit them, and how COVID-19 pandemic made their life difficult. To listen their stories, how they have been affected by COVID-19, and our family ourselves, we were tested positive, and how it has impacted us, and the stories that difficulties that I heard from our congregation member from Grand Rapids. At the same time, how our people back in Nepal, church planters, and their members have been affected, how they have been finding it difficult during this pandemic time to earn some of their daily food, how it has made their life difficult. It was, altogether it was so much for me, so much stress out, so I was like, oh God, what are you going to do, what are you doing actually, so I was a little bit stressed out, and I was disappointed. Things that I wanted to do, I could not do. Those are my experiences, but at the same time, God was teaching me something special during this time. Even though I was disappointed, I was many was stressed out. It was difficult for time for me, for my family, and for our ministry. At the same time, God gave us a different way of doing things. Actually, for me, He clearly and loudly told me, "Hey, your ways are not my ways. Your thoughts are not my thought." That's what I felt like God is clearly and loudly telling me. I was planning to go to Nepal, have training, do certain things, encourage them. But then all of a sudden, God brought us this new way of doing ministry over the Zoom, over the online things. We actually have been meeting with our church planters now. In fact, every other week meet with our church planters, and this has brought us actually closer relationship than what I thought of. If I had gone to Nepal 2 to 3 times and met them and then come back here, I think that would not be much helpful. But now we meet every other week. We try to meet as much as possible, do Bible study, encourage them, and the training as well. Teaching them from here. So that has been actually something different, and different way of God doing things. So God taught me that um, my ways are different. God is saying, "Hey, I'm still here. I'm doing things in spite of all those things." So God is asking me to rest on Him, trust in Him. Not only that, during this pandemic time, one of the things that God has done is that our church planters have reached 705 villages, and new believers. There are 375 new believers. They came to Christ during this pandemic time, and total baptism 193 total baptism was taken, and then there were 34 new fellowships. When I look back, that I have no other reason than to be grateful and thankful to God. Besides that, during this pandemic time, we had an online training where 72 new Timothy, potential church planters could come and join. So we started a new kind of training, hybrid kind of training during this pandemic time so that we can reach out wherever they are. Before pandemic time, I was planning that I could go to Nepal and have a big training. But now God showed us, no, that's not the way. You have to reach out. You have to have the training where they are. So now we have started small five small discipleship training or Timothy training or church planting training, where local people from that area come together and have training, and we teach over the Zoom, and some of our church plants they teach there. So God has actually showed me. God has and spoken to me clearly that, hey Yakuv, this is my work, so I'm gonna do no matter what happens. So God has spoken. God has taught me that, okay, I need to trust in Him. I need to rest in Him, and I need to depend on Him. His grace and His providence will lead us. Besides that, I have also been praying for a few couple of years. Me and my wife, we have been praying. How can we actually help marginalized, poor, and those who have less access or very uh, um, thin access to reach to have education or shelter or good home. So we have been praying to provide some sort of children home or children shelter to some of the marginalized kids. It's partly because myself and particularly my wife, as she grew up in orphanage, and we know how much it can impact the lives of children. So we have been praying, how can we help children home in Nepal. So my prayer request is that, please join with us. Besides praying for church planters, reaching out villagers or community people, would you please also pray for this new ministry that we have been trying to reaching out children who are vulnerable, who are otherwise helpless, to bring them and provide them education and also gospel. So please pray for that, and pray for our family, my two kids, my wife, and myself, and our people in Nepal and here in Grand Rapids. Thank you so much. I hope to see you soon sometime.